diesel heater. I took her apart so you guys can see what she looks like on the inside. This is the new one that I got. This thing here, it looks like some kind of new upgrade. It's different than the other one. But you got a glow plug. This is your heating chamber down in there. If you ever have to take this apart, you'll see what it is. You got your motor for your fan here, and this is your fan. The only issue that I ran into with the old one is there's a sensor right here. It's right here, and it's got to be so far away, you only got leeway of going so far away and so far close. So every now and then I'll get an error, E06, and that's usually the fan's out of whack, and I got to push it back to about that distance, and that fixes that error. But that's about right now. It's starting to get a little loose on the other one, quite a bit. So I'm thinking about just using that one for experiments. This one I just put the plate on. I'll show you the bottom here. The bottom here, you get the air intake. That's where your air line's going to go on. Your fuel line plugs into there. Your exhaust is there. That's the three outgoing, ingoing, outgoing orifices. Your air gets sucked in from this end and blows out this end. And it blows pretty good. There's more than a heater vent in your house. This plugs in to the controller, and off of the controller there'll be your power wires. But it's pretty simple. I just put this plate on, and this plate this is how I did my other one. It's in my shop. You can see where I put the plate on. And this one's going on 3 years old here, so it's gotten its use. You can see the power I use. I use a power supply. I'm pushing 13.8 volts to it. It doesn't require 13.8 volts, but that's what a vehicle puts out, so I just keep all my power supplies at 13.8. I run some of my ham radios and stuff off that voltage. But you can see the out there. Underneath, I'll show you the connections. There's the air intake, like I showed you on the other one. The fuel in line that goes up to it, that's where your fuel goes in, and then your exhaust. And I pretty much run them through the wall there. I got some exhaust tape on the other side of that for the exhaust. But your fuel line will run down to a pump, and the pump runs to a filter, which then runs to the tank. There, let me see. And that's the tank there. It's pretty simple. This is how I did this one. You can hide these and stuff, but I leave them open so I can do videos like this, or I'm always tweaking stuff, so I like to leave mine open. But a lot of people will hide it once it's installed where it's going to stay. This one I just installed here a couple weeks ago. There's the controller, and there's that E6 that I was talking about. The E6 there. See the fan blinking? That means that fan is off a little bit. But that's the only problem I've had in like 3 years with it, is that fan on there. And after it runs for a while, it just works its way loose. I'm sure I could do something, put Loctite or something on the spindle that it's on, and maybe that'll hold it on there better, or do something different. I could probably scuff it up with a grinder or something. That might make it hold a little better. But yeah, that's how she's set up. It's a mess right now. But you can use, instead of a power supply, you can use a battery. You can use a battery charger probably. I was using a power supply that I built for a PC, or from a PC power supply, if you got the skills to do it. It's pretty easy in my book, but there's the power supply I built. Right now I got it running the whips on my side-by-side. Let's test those out. I just installed them. But yeah, you can see that's running about 11.6. It's using a little bit of juice. It's not as strong as the other Power Supply, but it runs the diesel heater. It ran the diesel heater for about 4 or 5 months. But in this now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that other one off over there, and I'm going to put this one on there. And that's my plans for this new one. The shop is getting a brand new one in here, so I figure I'll use the other one for whatever, testing vegetable oil or whatever. But I'm thinking about getting another one as well, so for 86 bucks you can't go wrong. I was checking out the remote today. There's some pretty cool options for that. As far as the fan goes, you can go in and you can modify how many RPMs the fan spins. What I usually do is I go in and I'll max the RPMs of the fan out. I figure I want as much airflow as possible pushing out of it. So, and it's done pretty good for 3 years at that. So, but there's quite a few other different options and stuff. There's aftermarket thermostats you can get that are smart, to where you can use your phone to do everything. But I haven't gone as far to upgrade to one of those. I probably should here pretty soon because I've been getting into enough of them. It'd be nice to be inside the house. I think the remote will reach inside the house, but it'd be nice to turn it on and before I even get out here, it'll be nice and warm in the shop before I even get here. I'll have to test the remote. I know inside the house I can go to one end of the house and it'll work the heater. So I imagine I'm probably about 100 foot away from the house. It should work just fine. I'm thinking it's probably got, at least from what I've heard, you can go almost 1,000 feet with them. They're made to go inside like a hotel room and you can heat up your RV or whatever. A lot of truck drivers and van life enthusiasts and all that use these heaters. I'm actually wondering if I could install one of these on my side-by-side, get the enclosure from my side-by-side, and have a nice heated side-by-side for the winter. Then I can go out and play and not freeze my butt off. But I guess for now, this is where I'm at. I'll do another video when I get her all hooked up and flowing to show you what I did and how she's doing, and I'll try to go through the display and the options that it's got too in the updated video that I do. I hope this stuff helps.